Do you want me to start it or you?
Yeah, you start.
Like on Disney Channel, I'd be like, hey guys, I'm Kylie Odetta. And you'd be like, and I'm Danny Ross.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Hey guys, Kylie Odetta here.
Hi, and I'm Kylie Odette. I'm Danny.
We're twinning with our glasses. So we are the writers of the song Cry Out, which is on my new EP, Roots and Petals. And we thought we would answer some questions that you guys sent in about the writing process of that song. And so we're just gonna kick things off. The first question is, how long did it take for you to write the song? By the way, I love it. Thank you. Danny, how long do you think it took us to write that song?
What, like an afternoon, would you say?
Yeah.
A couple hours?
I mean, I feel like, yeah, a couple hours, I'd say. And then we were kind of fine tuning more of the production stuff. But yeah, I came in with I think it was the chorus idea. And then we built up the verses around it and changed some of the chorus and added the bridge. It was awesome. So I'd say a couple of hours, right?
Yeah, like I think you showed me you were going through your voice memos of your favorite idea,
Yep.
and you showed me Cry Out. I said, that one, please. And like one thing I remember us doing was that bass walk down at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's really special too.
Yeah, I love that part because that was definitely, it's the song essentially has like 3 chords in it most of the time, and then 4 in the bridge, I'm pretty sure. But that walk down really added something special. I agree.
Yeah.
That was fun. So the next question is, what was your process writing it? Seems like this was more of a pour out than a random write. So for me, I'll kind of start that. When I originally wrote the chorus idea, I was experiencing some sort of relapse emotions of like the battle with anxiety that I went through a couple years ago. So I wrote that very first part on my own, like months before I even came to you. And then, like you said, we were going through ideas of what to write about that day when we got together. We were in New York, by the way, everyone. Danny's in Brooklyn. Woo woo. And I brought that idea, and then we kind of went from there. So how did it, I guess, emotionally connect to you in that moment too? Like, were you feeling any of what I was saying?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I remember connecting with it right away. And, especially that line, like, I'm sick and tired of hating myself. So, how exactly does it go? Do you remember?
Oh God, I have to sing the first part. Gripping tightly to the thing that should have let go. All my life it's like I'm living in a black hole. I'm so sick of being scared, falling backwards. I'm so tired. Yeah, and then the second part is like, I'm so sick of hating me. I want to wake up. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
mean,
was.
who doesn't relate to that? And I think, like, the feeling of being tired and exhaustion as it
Yeah.
relates to, feeling anxious and self-hate or self-pity.
Yeah.
Like the physical exhaustion of that is a real thing.
Yeah.
You really nailed it. You said it in a way that I hadn't heard before.
Well, it's so cool to as co-writers come together and like take our mutual experiences of feeling those same emotions but in different scenarios, and like you said, I feel like so many people have reached a point or are currently in a point where they're like, I'm so exhausted from feeling this way. And that's what anxiety and depression and all these emotional battles do to you. You just get physically exhausted from having to deal with so much in your mind. And so, but what I love is that we ended up writing a chorus that's like, this is my turning point, like I am tired, but I am on a trajectory towards healing. And this is that moment that's going to spark that for me. And I feel like musically, lyrically, we really, captured that feeling.
So there are 2 interesting things here. One is there's something called text painting in music, which is when the words and the music do the same exact thing. And when you say cry out, I believe you're hitting the highest notes of the song, like actual.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. And 2, like, I wonder if this is, I think it's particularly true for us, creative types, but anyone that, or like sensitive types really, but anyone that hasn't been monologue, that's really has a busy brain that talks too much, it's like it's really easy to get stuck in your own head, and
Yeah.
just journalizing of those feelings when you say the words cry out is a really impactful, meaningful thing.
Yeah, that's so true and so powerful. And I'm glad that we ended up writing it in first person, because it's like it allows people hopefully to sing it and actually, like you're saying, cry out themselves. It's not just like we're talking about just our story, but it's like we're internalizing it, and hopefully everybody who listens can say, this is my cry out, like this is my moment to start my journey towards healing, to ask for help. So yeah, the writing of that song was an amazing process. It came together, I feel like, kind of effortlessly. Like we were fine-tuning some words, but I feel like overall it really kind of just flowed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we've written a bunch of songs together now.
Yes, we have. Like literally, shout out. And we have another one coming soon, everybody.
Yeah. But this one might have been the quickest that came together as a song.
Yeah.
As a composition.
Yeah. I would agree. All right, you guys. So let's see. Is this about anything that went on in your life? So again, for me, this did come from a place where I was experiencing some emotions, kind of bubbling back up after years of dealing with anxiety. Oh, Danny, love ya. And do we have an alter ego name for this guy? And so it was very personal to me. And like I said, I brought that idea in, and then Danny kind of coupled it with his ideas and his own personal experiences. So yes, it definitely came from a personal place. It came from my own life experiences, with specifically the turning point I reached. Kind of looking back at my story, was I was outside on a curb, and I talk about this a little bit in my Roots and Petals video, which is up on YouTube, but I was outside on the curb of a restaurant. I was supposed to be meeting my family for lunch or something like that. And I was just so empty and numb and felt unlike myself. I felt so completely sad. Like there's no point of talking to anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't see the point. I was just so, a shell of myself in that moment. And so that day was when they came out and saw me sitting there like that. I'm like, what is going on? And I ended up, realizing, okay, this probably isn't a good thing. This probably isn't normal. I don't want to keep living like this, So I opened my mouth and I started to talk about what I was experiencing to my family. And that was my cry out. I was like, clearly physically they could see that something was wrong, but then I opened my mouth and used my words and said, something is very wrong and I don't know what to do. And that kind of started a lot of different processes that I went through to heal, but definitely just that vocalizing, hey, I'm not okay. That's what this song is about for me.
Sometimes asking for help is the hardest thing, because
you're
embarrassed or you don't think other people will understand. And almost always you feel so much better when you're able to share that experience with someone else. And we're all going through this thing together.
Yeah, you got to bring things to the light so they can be healed. Like if we keep it inside and keep it in our heads and try to deal with it on our own, it's really, really hard. And we don't have to, and I know some people maybe feel like they don't have a trusted person they could go to. And that's why I definitely recommend a counselor or somebody who you don't know, like, in a professional setting. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist. I did that, and I talked to family. So it's like, being able to have somebody to talk to is so important.
Yeah, I still see a therapist as well. And you have a line in the song, right?
Yeah, maybe a godsend. Wait, maybe a therapist, maybe a godsend. And it also talks about a good friend. So got some great options there. Okay, let's see. How do you transfer your feelings to your lyrics? I think this is a good songwriter question in general. How do you transfer how you're feeling into lyrics or into music? Danny, how do you do that?
Well, lyric writing is this mysterious process where a lot of times, and Kylie, I think you probably experience the same thing, while you're sitting playing piano or whatever, some words will just pop into your head and you don't always control it. And so it's like the song is telling you what it's about.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're like, oh, well, what are these words that popped out? You sort of take them maybe to reflect on, hey, what am I doing right now, and explore it from there.
Yeah, that's so good. I had a friend, I have a friend in New York, and she told me one time she feels like a lot of songs are already written and they're out there ready to be, spoken through somebody. And so, like you said, it's like sometimes these things just pop up and you're like, oh, that was an interesting line, or you're sitting down to play and all these emotions start to bubble up. And I think it's, a big key part of this, letting your feelings transfer to your lyrics, is allowing them to have the time and space to bubble up. Because I think sometimes when you do stay really busy and you sit and you try to force a song, it's like, okay, what am I feeling? Let me try and come up with something. Whereas, like you just said, when you're just messing around or you have the time and space, even just an hour like dedicated to like, I'm not going to really try very hard, I'm just going to sit and play and tinker, things start to bubble up because your mind is able to clear out some of that noise, and then you're actually able to assess, what am I feeling? And it kind of comes out naturally. But yeah, I think it's different for everybody. I definitely relate, and the same thing happens for me. And then also I think, if you are sitting down trying to write a song, just kind of doing some self-reflection really first, if you're wanting to write about honest things that you're feeling.
Totally. I had a period in my life where I couldn't write lyrics. They just coming to me. It was very difficult, and I realized later it was because I didn't want to be real about. I didn't want to discover what I really thinking and feeling inside, which meant dealing with a relationship that I would soon be out of, and I'm as well. But I wasn't ready for those parts in my life to happen yet, and so the words weren't coming out because I wasn't being truthful with myself. And so you're 100% right. Like getting to a place where you are transparent with yourself, and having self-reflection, and having an honest conversation with yourself, which is what Cry Out is all about, is actually the best way to get the creativity flowing.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Well, that's all the questions we're going to answer for this video. But this has been so great. Thank you guys for sending in your questions, and please go listen to the song and continue to let us know how it's affecting you, how it's making you feel. Share it with a friend that you think might need to hear it. But it was such an awesome experience getting to write and record that song. And I'm thankful that you guys are listening and interested in hearing more about it. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'm Kylie Odetta.
And this is Disney Channel. Magic Wand. All right, bye, guys.